Hello there folks, and welcome to video number 204. This one is on harder averages and range. The keywords I've got for you I've explained in the previous mean, median, mode and range video. Basically the mean is an average which is worked out by adding everything up and dividing by how many things there are. The median is the middle number of an ordered list. The mode is the most common piece of data, and the range is the difference between the biggest and smallest, and it's not an average, it's a measure of how consistent the data is. Now, you may be given questions where you need to use your understanding of this topic and work it backwards. That's what these ones are really, which is why I've called them harder averages and range stuff. If you're not sure what to do with this one, make sure you watch the previous mean, median, mode and range video. Now, first question. FC Phoenix played 5 matches and the mean number of goals scored was 3. After the 6th match, the mean increases to 4. How many goals were scored in the 6th match? So this one is where we're using our understanding of how to calculate a mean, but backwards. Okay? Because what we know is the mean after 5 matches, and we know the mean after 6 matches. All right? We want to find a piece of information about the 6th match. Right? The number of goals that were scored. So what we do to work something backwards is we do the opposite thing. The inverse operation. Now, if you look at the mean method, we're doing some dividing, so the opposite to that is going to be multiplying. We're going to multiply the 5 by the 3, and that will give us the total goals after 5 games, and that equals 5 times 3. That's the calculation to get that. Hopefully that makes sense. That's relatively simple, I think, to understand. We don't know how many goals were scored in each individual game. We don't need to. What we know is the total number of goals after 5 games. After the 6th match, we know the mean increases to 4. Okay, so this is where we're going to have to use a little bit of forming and solving equations understanding. If you're not sure how to do that, again, I've made a video for you. So please go and have a watch of forming and solving equations. That will help, or at least solving equations. What we're going to do is we're going to hopefully help you understand this. By saying that we've got 15 goals so far, plus some amount of goals, right? Remember, if we're working out a mean, we add everything up. So we're going to say that X is that some amount of goals for match number 6. We're then going to divide it all by 6, and that will equal 4. That's using the rest of the information from the question, okay? 6 games, so add everything up, right? Add all the 6 games worth of goals up, divide by 6, and we get 4. Right, that's an equation which we can now solve. Again, if you're not sure how to solve this equation, go and watch solving equations. But what you do, because everything on this side has been divided by 6, is you do the opposite thing. Again, you multiply by 6. That gives us 15 plus x equals 24. 6 times 4 is 24. And then we take away the 15. It's a positive x on this side, so we can just write down x. And then we take away 15 from both sides. It leaves us with 9. All right, that means that 9 goals were scored in game number 6, match number 6, because that's what that x represented in our equation that we made. All right, I'm hoping that makes sense for you now. Now, in question number 2, we've got the heights of 8 meerkats listed from 38 up to 50 centimeters. 2 meerkats were removed, and the mean average height of the remaining 6 is 43.5 centimeters. What were the heights of the 2 that were removed? So the annoying thing about this question, you might need a calculator, so I'll just pause a second. Get the calculator in. There we go. So this is an annoying one because we've got the 8 meerkats and we've got 6, the average for 6 of them. All right, that's a strange thing to do, but that's the way the question's worked out. We could guess 2 and we could take them away and we could see if it gave us our mean of 43.5 centimeters. Or we could use our math skills and do it a lot quicker. You might get lucky and do it first time, second time, by choosing 2 random ones and working it out, but it would take, most people, it would take a long time to get that worked out, and you'd be wasting all of your time if it was an exam question. So what we do is we work out what all of the heights are added together. So 38 plus 41, see what we're working with here, with all of the 8 added together. That would be a useful starting point. So I'm going to do that, make sure that all the numbers are going in there correctly. And then one more with the 50 centimeters is 359. All right, so total of 8 equals 359 centimeters. Then what we can do is we can work out what the 6 would be, all right? So the 6 meerkats that we've got the mean for, again, it's exactly the same as the first question, really. We're just doing 6 multiplied by 43.5. So 6 multiplied by 43.5 will give us the height of the 6 meerkats that were left. So the height, also the total of 6 left equals, and I didn't catch what that was, 261. Right, now what we can do with these is find the difference between them. Okay, and that will give us an idea of 2 meerkats that we might be able to remove from the calculation, because that's all that we've got to do. What were the heights of the 2 that we removed? Find them. Fine. So we do 359 and we minus the 261, and 359 minus the answer that was just on the screen is 98. So we need to find 2 meerkats who have heights of that add up to 98, and that's relatively simple because we've got 98 is 2 less than 100, and 48 plus 50, so 48 plus 50, that equals 98. So therefore it must have been those 2 that were removed. So the 48 centimeters and the 50 centimeter tall meerkat. There we go. So not too tricky, but looked tricky, and it's one of those ones that I know would take a lot of people a long time to get the right answer to. Anyway, let's move myself over here and do the final question in this video. Now, I love these ones. These are very typical exam style questions. The median of a set of 5 numbers is 11. They tell you that the median is something, right? So instantly you should be going, okay, the median, that's the middle of an ordered list of numbers, right? And it says there are 5 of them. So I'm just going to set out 5 spaces, okay? And we've got the middle one, all right? Because we know that the median is 7. So straight away, without reading anything else, just pop that down there. Then we have a look at the rest of the information. So all the numbers are odd, fine, no worries. The range is 20. That means the difference between this one and this one is 20, okay? The mean is 12.6, fine. And the difference between the first 2 and the last 2 numbers is 4. So what that means, the difference between these 2 is 4, and the difference between these 2 is also 4. And then we've got to work out the set of 5 numbers. So it's a lot of information, looks tricky, actually is pretty tricky, right? And again, it comes down to being able to use algebra and forming and solving some equations. So I'm going to use a letter to represent the first number here, because we don't know what it is, right? But we've got a bit of information that will help us write down what the second number is as an expression, okay, rather than what the actual number is. If we've called this one x, then we can call this one x plus 4, because it tells us the difference between this number and this number in the question is 4. It tells us the range is 20, which means the difference between this one and this one is 20. So x plus 20. And then the difference between this one and this one is also 4. So that, if we take away 4 from the 20, it must be x plus 16. Okay, and I'm hoping all of that makes sense. And I've got that information from the question, from the words that are written up here. Okay, now if we were going to work out a mean, you'd have to add all the numbers together, divide by 5, because there are 5 numbers, and then you would get the mean, which is another bit of information that we've got. So we collect everything together. All right, so we're collecting the like terms here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. So we've got 4x, and then we've got 4 plus 11 plus 16 plus 20. So I'll just get my calculator to do it quicker. 4 plus 11 plus 16 plus 20. I'm sure you could do it without if you had to. Is 51. So plus 51. Oops. Equals, and then we don't know what that equals yet, and then we have to say it divides by 5, and then it equals 12.6, because that's how you calculate a mean, much like the first question, right? Again, we formed a very similar equation there. 4x plus 51 is what we get by adding all of these numbers up. We divide by 5, because there are 5 numbers, and that gives us our mean. What we do is we do 5 multiplied by the 12.6, so 5 multiplied by 12.6 should give us a whole number, which is 63. So 4x plus 51 equals 63. Take away the 51 from both sides. minus 51, 12, and that gives us 4x equals 12, and you can see where we're going with this. I'm hoping now we divide both sides by 4, and that gives us 3. So it tells us that the first number was 3, which fits with the fact that they're all odd numbers, right, so far. So 3, if we add 4 onto 3 to get this next number, we get 7. We've got the 11 in the middle, and then we've got x plus 16, which is going to give us 19, because 3 plus 16 is 19, and then 3 plus 20 gives us 23. And that must be the correct answer, all right? I'm hoping that makes sense. It's definitely worth a good 4 marks on an exam paper. So that is pretty much as hard as it gets, I think, with the harder averages and range stuff on foundation papers for sure. Yeah, I think I've covered the bases. If you can think of anything else, let me know. Take care of yourselves, look after one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, then. Bye-bye.